Hey guys, Chris Nelson with RV Bass. Today I'm coming at you with a Lake Oroville fishing report for early April spring break and some tips and pointers for your kids to catch spotted bass on probably one of the easiest fisheries to do so in Northern California. Stay tuned guys, I'm going to open up the rod locker and show you guys some of the baits that I've been catching them on the last couple of days out at Lake Oroville. All right guys, I've spent the last 4 or 5 days out on Lake Oroville. I had a local club tournament out there with Basin Club. And so this report's gonna cover April 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and I think today's the 7th. Today is the 7th. So real quick, ramp conditions. I launched at Loafer Creek. And again, the key there between Loafer and Bidwell is that Loafer opens up earlier. So if you guys are wanting to get on the water and you go to Bidwell, you're gonna be waiting until 8:30. Yes, they still are tagging. Yes, you have to be clean, dry, and tagged for Lake Oroville. Not Folsom, not anywhere else, Lake Oroville. The good news is that it is free. You can go down to the Forebay. That opens it up at 8:30. So if you get there at 6 o'clock and you're not tagged, you're gonna be, go grab some breakfast and hang out a little bit because you're going to be waiting for a couple hours until they open up down there at the Forebay. It is free, completely free. And then as far as just the ramp in general, ramps are great. Loafer's got one dock in the water. I've never really had any issue getting in and out of there. Great facility. State park run. If you have the Poppy Pass, it works at Folsom, also works at Oroville. And then Loafer Creek is the only launch ramp I've been using. So, I mean, I've been to Bidwell, it's usually a great facility. I've been to the Spillway, usually a great facility. As far as lake conditions go, water temp is varied a lot actually. I've seen early morning 58 degrees, I fished the afternoon at 71 degrees. So it's everywhere in between. Water clarity, it's very, very clear. Those storms really didn't do anything, didn't muddy up the water or anything like that. They are slowly letting the lake rise. The lake's probably risen probably about, I'd say 6 feet from the 3rd to the 7th. Just slowly let it get up there. Visibility, as far as water clarity goes, is in the 10 to 15 foot range easily. And it just depends on where you go, right? Some areas are a little bit more dingy. The wind plays, wind does come into effect in terms of like how it blows a mud line around and stuff like that. And surprisingly right now, the pollen is playing a big factor too. So it gets all stuck in the back of the coves and it kind of creates a little bit of a canopy, almost like a little duckweed. Makes you want to throw a frog. But as far as weather conditions go, we had a couple windy days. Bites seem to be a little bit better on those windy days, no surprise there. And then depending on where you go in the 3 major arms, right? One could be windier than the other. So that just plays into how you want to break down the lake. Now I know most of you guys are going up there just for some fun family fishing, so let's get into the details of what caught them, how I caught them, all that sort of good stuff. First and foremost, I don't actually have it tied on right now, but if you have little kids and you aren't throwing a Yamamoto Senko right now, you're missing out, you're missing fish. So I took my kids up there the last 2 days and that's what we threw, nail weighted, wacky rig, Yamamoto Senko. There's plenty of knockoffs out there. In fact, I'll link you a video, or maybe I'll do a video on how to just rig a Senko. I get that question all the time. But throwing that on a spinning rod. Next up is, something more finessey. I mean, you can still scope them. But this is a little first gen jaw dropper with a underspin on it, a little 2-aught hook, and that's a 2.8 Kitech. I just throw that out there, have them count a couple times, maybe 1-2 seconds, and then slowly start reeling it in, and that will catch fish just blind casting it around. Next I got here is probably one of my favorites. I love throwing a Vision 110. on this Dobbin 705 CB. Man, this thing is great. I throw it on 10-pound test, and I use this thing just to flat out cover water. You'll just catch them schooling in the back of a pocket, out on a point. You know, guys, they're really in all different areas. You can go run main lake points and you'll catch fish. You can go run backs of coves and you will catch fish. So you can go up way up the river and get to those steep bank bluff walls and run that, and you're going to catch fish right now. That's just the way Lake Oroville is. We're talking, you know, 20 to 80 fish days out there. Kind of a not really sneaky thing. I don't think it's any secret, but just throwing like a glide bait. You know, this is an S-Waver, and like a ghost trout color. It's the S-Waver 168. Probably a Pistol Pete would work good. Any type of smaller 6-inch glide. And I was just doing that while the kids were throwing Cincos and throwing Ned rigs and all that fun stuff. So it's a fun little bite, you know. You can catch some bigger ones definitely throwing a glide. Another one, when it got windy, and the occasional around cover, is a spinnerbait. So, and this spinnerbait in particular is a Depths B Custom Double Willow. I'm throwing that with a Kitech 3.8 Kitech on the back. So again, this is a 5/8 ounce. I'm just slow rolling it, bouncing off rocks, getting it mid-column. They're in all different phases right now, right? It's not their wintertime phase where they're just stuck to the bottom. And last but not least, but probably my most productive one, and this is what the majority of my kids, what they caught their fish on, is just a 1/2 ounce, 3/8 ounce, quarter finesse type jig with this is a Yamamoto double tail grub. Again, very basic stuff. You don't have to get super complicated at Oroville right now. It's Lake Oroville in the spring, as I tell everybody. So again, guys, super fun bite. If you absolutely just have to catch fish, you can run all the way upriver. There's still some waterfalls coming in. Obviously that colder water coming into the lake that's warm does create a little bit of a feeding frenzy, and you know, that's a thing. But there's definitely a lot of main lake fish to be caught, and just keep in mind, we got other boaters out there. We got first-time boaters. I had to pull somebody in the other day, you know, for about 25 minutes because their motor wasn't working. So be kind. Watch out for those wakeboard wakes when you're running across the lake. They tend to sneak up on you. And I hope you guys catch fish, guys. Hopefully this helps, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. If you guys like this content, my YouTube channel is at Chris Nelson Fishing. Same thing on Instagram. And if you haven't already subscribed to the RV Bass channel, please do so. There's a ton of great information, guys. We'll catch you later. See ya.